Imagine building the world's biggest passenger airplane. But there is one problem: no aircraft in the world is big enough to carry its parts. Sounds impossible, right? This is exactly the challenge faced while building the Airbus A380. Its massive parts cannot fit inside any cargo plane. So the big question is, how are these giant sections transported across Europe to one final assembly location? Welcome back. Airbus is a European aircraft manufacturing company that produces around 1,000 airplanes every year. That means almost 3 aircraft are built every single day. This is not just impressive, it is an extreme logistical challenge. The real story is not only about building planes, but about moving their parts. Different sections of an aircraft are manufactured in different countries across Europe. But all these parts must come together in one place: Toulouse, France, where the final assembly happens. This entire process is not simple. It is one of the most complex transport systems in the world, combining air, sea, river, and road into one coordinated operation. Airbus was created as a joint effort by major European countries like France, Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Their goal was clear: to compete with American aircraft giant Boeing, but this partnership created a big challenge. Airbus has 11 production sites spread across Europe, and each location specializes in building a specific part of the aircraft. For example, the tail sections are made in Hamburg, Germany. The central body and nose are built in Saint-Nazaire, France. The wings are produced in Breton, UK, while Spain also contributes important tail components. Once all these parts are ready, they must be transported to Toulouse. But these are not small pieces. Some parts are as big as a football field. Moving them is extremely difficult. In the early days, when demand was low, Airbus used trucks and ships. But this process was slow and could take months. As demand increased, this delay became a major problem. Airbus needed a faster and smarter solution to keep up with production. To solve this problem, Airbus introduced a unique aircraft inspired by a whale called the beluga. In 1994, they designed a special cargo plane named the Airbus Beluga. This aircraft was built only for transporting large aircraft parts. It has features that normal cargo planes do not have. The Beluga is about 56 meters long, which is longer than an Olympic swimming pool. Its height is around 17 meters, similar to a 7-story building. The cargo space inside is huge. It can carry items as large as multiple cars at once. One of its most important features is its opening nose. The front part of the aircraft lifts upward like a car hood, making loading and unloading much easier. For example, the wings of an Airbus A380, which are about 32 meters long, can easily fit inside the Beluga. This innovation made transportation much faster and more efficient across Europe. Before the Beluga, transporting aircraft parts by ship or truck could take several months. But now, with the Beluga aircraft, the same journey can be completed in just a few hours. This speed ensures that Airbus production lines continue without delay. It was a major breakthrough in aviation logistics. Later, in 2014, Airbus introduced an improved version called the Beluga XL. This version can carry even larger and heavier components. Everything was working perfectly until 2004, when Airbus launched the A380, the largest passenger aircraft in the world. But this created a new problem. The size of the A380 parts was too large even for the Beluga XL. The fuselage height alone is about 8.4 meters, while the Beluga's cargo space is only 7.5 meters high. Even the wings, which must be built in one piece for safety reasons, could not fit inside. Now Airbus faced a serious challenge again: how to transport parts that no aircraft could carry. Airbus considered building an even bigger cargo plane, sometimes called a Beluga XXL. But this idea was extremely expensive and required major redesign and powerful engines. At the same time, the A380 was not in very high demand because not all airlines could operate such a large aircraft. So investing billions for limited use did not make sense. Instead, Airbus chose a different solution, a combination of sea, river, and road transport. This system is known as the Super Convoy. They designed special ships called roll-on roll-off ships or ro-ro ships. These ships allow cargo to be rolled on and off using wheels, without cranes. One of these ships is called the City of Hamburg. It is 126 meters long and has 5 times more cargo space than the Beluga XL. Large aircraft parts are loaded directly onto these ships from Hamburg port and then transported to Saint-Nazaire in France. Covering around 1,600 kilometers, this journey across the sea is risky, especially with strong waves and storms. The safety of these parts is extremely important. Even a small damage can cost millions. That is why the ship crew checks the cargo chains every few hours, and cameras monitor everything continuously. After reaching Saint-Nazaire, the parts are transferred to special river barges. These barges carry the components through the Garonne River toward Bordeaux. But this journey has its own challenges. There is a bridge called Pont de Pierre, built in 1810 with narrow arches. Only one arch is wide enough for the barge to pass through, and even then, there is very little space on each side. Another problem is water level. The river level changes with ocean tides. Normally, the water is too high for the barge to pass, every 12 hours. There is only a 3-minute window when the tide is low enough. If missed, the convoy must wait another 12 hours. To solve this, adjustable platforms are used to reduce height during passage. After reaching Bordeaux, the journey continues by road. The final destination, Toulouse, is still about 250 kilometers away. For this, Airbus uses massive transport trucks. These trucks are about 50 meters long, powered by 650 horsepower engines, and supported by 96 wheels. Because of their size, these convoys can only move at night to avoid traffic. Roads and highways are temporarily closed during their movement. A team of around 40 people, including police and engineers, accompanies the convoy to ensure safety. The most difficult part is passing through small towns, roundabouts, and tight corners. Aircraft wings extend far behind the trucks and come very close to buildings, trees, and streetlights, sometimes only a few centimeters away. This requires precise coordination and expert handling. Finally, after a long and complex journey, all parts reach Toulouse safely. Once the parts arrive at the assembly plant in Toulouse, the final process begins. Using advanced systems, engineers assemble the aircraft within hours. For the Airbus A380, more than 19,000 rivets are used to join the fuselage sections, and over 4,000 rivets connect the wings. After installing engines, electronics, interiors, and paint, the aircraft becomes ready for delivery. The entire process, from manufacturing parts to transportation and assembly, takes about 9 months. Only 251 Airbus A380 aircraft have been built so far, mainly because it is expensive and not every airline can operate it. Interestingly, around 50% of these aircraft are owned by Emirates Airlines. The A380 can carry up to 850 passengers and has a takeoff weight of around 575,000 kilograms. Its price is about $445 million, which is equal to the cost of several smaller aircraft. Next time you fly on an Airbus plane, you will understand the incredible effort behind its journey.